So we just dragged some files for audio. The same can be done for MIDI. Now right here I've got this track up. This is the bass track. I'm going to play it here. This is some button face. I'm going to play it right now. And here we go. Okay, that's the track right there, right? Now I want to export this as MIDI or drag and drop the same way I did with the audio. So it can be done here as well. Now the first thing you want to do, of course, is go back here to the triangle right there for our group, and we're going to select Sound MIDI Batch Setup. Now here in Sound MIDI Batch Setup, I want to make sure this is going to go into a MIDI track. So in my case, I want to make sure I have the sounds to MIDI notes. Now in this case, it's a bass line, so I'll select MIDI channel 5. Now if you know about general MIDI, in general MIDI, certain channels, like 1 through 16, are designated for specific instruments. And in general MIDI, 5 would be the bass. So, but if I was going to dump into Pro Tools or Logic, I would just take this track, this file here, and put it into a MIDI track. Either one of those host softwares. So, I'll leave it like this right now and press apply. That's just good. And I'll go to here, I'll click here, and I'll drag to the left a little bit, and now you see, it's got it. It says bass, A2. Now I'll drag it over here to the edge right there. Plus sign appears there. I'm going to pull down this a little bit here so we can see it again. There we go. And see it says MIDI there, .MIDI. Now, I can select a software to play it, and it's going to make it very simple. I'm going to pull up QuickTime Player 7, which will play MIDI files, and I'll play it back. So it plays it, but notice there's no tempo. My original tempo, as you can see, was originally 103.9. This is like a 120. So when you do play it back in that MIDI file, you're going to make sure you got to also, when you put in that whole software, that you have the tempo you want to have. But the notes are correct. And the spacing from one to the other is correct also as well. So it fits the grid. If it's going to fit this 120, it'll fit the same grid if it fit the tempo of 103.9. But that MIDI file is there, and we can use it. Now, let me go here, and I'm going to throw it in the trash right now. I don't need that. This is just for demonstration purposes, actually. And now let's go back to here. Perfect. Now, if I don't want to do that, I can go here, of course, select this, and I can export that file. I pull up export, and then it says, well, what do you want to export it to? I can name the file, bass from my song, whatever it is. And I can put it into my Pro Tools folder, my Logic, or whatever software I use, if it's a GarageBand or whatever, I'll pull it up and I'll use that software. So I can also export it rather than drag and drop it to the desktop. It's a very cool way for you to actually, you know, instead of having to set up your MPC or a drum machine, you can do it directly with inside the Maschine software. And you can also use it with Maschine as a plugin in your host software as well.